Hi, it's Larry here. Welcome back to the channel. And today I'm very excited to bring to you Dire Straits live Alchemy once again. And today we'll be covering Telegraph Road, which is one of the most beautiful songs of the era, and certainly by Dire Straits, by anyone really. Let's just be fair to the song. Very interesting thing. After doing the studio version of this on the channel here about 9 or 10 months ago, a lot of folks commented after my reaction interpretation of the song as well that it seemed like home. It seemed very familiar. It seemed like it was like that really resonated with me. I don't know why, it just does. And and a lot of you pointed out that the song was about, indeed, Mark Knopfler riding on the front of a tour bus in the state of Michigan, which is a pretty dreary place. I've been there. And just seeing things unfold. And at the time, though, here's a second piece of the intel on this particular song. I have to look at my notes here just for a second. Yeah, so while he was writing the song, Telegraph Road, he was also reading a novel. So imagine Mark Knopfler sitting back in the tour bus. This is a very, 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 very profound novel. It's called Growth of the Soil. It was written by Knut Hamsun. I apologize if I got the author's name wrong. But he won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1920. The book was published in 1917. And guess what? That book, it's about, it was written in Norwegian originally. It's the story of a man who settles and lives in rural Norway. Okay, I'm from rural Canada. Probably pretty similar sort of scene, right? And I think a lot of you folks from all over the world have your own version of seeing, something be built and then see it go through hard times and ultimately fall. And, in a way, I don't want to get political here by any stretch. In a way, we're sort of seeing society in a lot of countries right now falling again. It's sad to see, but, true. Anyway, enough about that. I will not be doing an interpretation of this song because I've got the intel. I've kind of given you this preamble here, but listen, we're going to look at this live here. So sit back, relax, enjoy Telegraph Road, Alchemy. Sorry for the external noise. There's a wayward dog owner who just basically sticks their dog out on the veranda all day. This is beyond words. I don't know how to describe. First of all, it has just such a deepness, and it's such a layered song, which is brings out so many emotions. I mean, I've heard this song so many times, and this is the first time, I'm not kidding, that I've seen this live Alchemy version. And just a small piece of my personal story. I played hockey in rural Atlantic Canada. So as part of being a hockey player in Canada growing up, you go to all these small little towns all over the northeastern of the United States and all over Atlantic Canada. So you're constantly traveling into these sort of small towns, and you start to see the churches, and the words are very suitable in a sense where you're traveling into rural towns and cities, much like the Norwegian wrote about in the book, which Mark Knopfler was reading at the time, and then riding himself into what's Telegraph Road in Michigan. It's just unbelievable. And now listen, I'm sure a lot of you folks can relate to the song in your own way wherever you are in the world, because really the songwriting and the storytelling here is just magnificent. And now to this particular performance, they seem to, I don't know if it's my imagination or not, but they seem to take a more serious tone, or let me say a more somber tone in this particular performance compared to Sultans of Swing. That's the only two songs I've seen Alchemy live here on this particular concert. So that was purposely done. I'm sure it was, because the song is somber, and it is it's like planting a seed, watching the tree grow, and then watching it die. And I mean, that sums up kind of the story of this song, and the story of a small rural town and somebody trying to make something of it and give it a go, and then, you know, obviously meeting with some initial success, but ultimately in the end, the character, which Mark Knopfler is alluding to, is with a woman, and it's like, take me away from this place in the end. I mean, just take me out of here. And but it was romantic too, and it really touched me. You know, you had your head on my shoulder, and you know, it's God, it's just so emotion inspiring, and you know, it's hard for me to think straight because it's the story of my life, to be honest, in my early years. And, you know, I've seen this all unfold so many times, traveling throughout, you know, North America, well, really eastern rural North America, and a lot of it in the north. And so anyway, you know, let's rate the song versus all the other songs on the playlist. I think you know where I'm going with this. The vaunted masterpiece area of this playlist is reserved for really those songs and the performances that are at the very top. And this earns its spot there right alongside Sultans of Swing, Alchemy. And I understand now folks in the comments saying this is the best performance they've ever seen, the best performance in the history of, say, rock and roll. Wouldn't consider them rock and roll specifically, but they are a fusion of a lot of things. And they deserve their perch on the vaunted masterpiece column. And I could go on for an hour, but I'm going to cut it there. I'm going to stop it there. This is a pretty long video. I hope you hung in here for the end. Please, if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. I really do enjoy your commentary, so please leave your comments, your insights, feedback, not only on Dire Straits, but any other music you want to talk about in the comment section. I'm all teary-eyed now, and I'm going to head down to the beach and jump into the water because that's the part of the song, Take Me Away, right? I'm going to take myself away from this song and this feeling right now. I mean, it's a happy, somber feeling that this song invokes, and what can I say? It really touches my heart, as I'm sure it touches your heart. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here with me listening to Telegraph Road, a live Alchemy. So, we'll see you next week.